Discussion of third eye, like Gada. Start off with discussion of the pineal gland, as noted here. Pineal gland is a small endocrine gland in the brain of animals with backbones, produces various substances, including hormones. Rene Descartes, scientist, mathematician, and philosopher in the 1600s, called the pineal gland the principal seat of the soul. The soul is joined to the whole body, he said, by a certain very small gland situated in the middle of the brain. Melatonin is one substance produced by the pineal gland. Here in the study where they discussed enhancement of the effect of cancer chemotherapy by pineal hormone melatonin and the relationship to the psychospiritual status of the patient, we see that they found that the effect of melatonin was maximal in the presence of real spiritual faith, thus suggesting the role of interplay of faith with the action of melatonin, action and production of melatonin. Another substance produced by the pineal gland is dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT. In this paper from 1975, we see they discussed how the pineal gland is involved in the production of DMT. In this review of neurobiology of spirituality by Mohandas, he discusses that meditation is associated with the sharp increase in plasma melatonin. Stimulation of the pineal gland by the lateral hypothalamus is responsible for the hike in melatonin. This increase in melatonin can result in calmness and decreased awareness of pain. They also quote a study discussing how there's increased synthesis of DMT from the pineal gland. Several studies have linked DMT to out-of-body experiences, time-space distortion, and other such mystical states. Next, we discuss fluoride. Fluoride is not produced by the pineal gland, but acts upon the pineal gland. We see that the effect of fluoride in water on the intelligence of children, a study performed where they looked at children exposed to lots of fluoride and children exposed to less, and they find that exposure of children to high levels of fluoride may carry a risk of impaired development of intelligence. There was a lower IQ in children exposed to higher levels of fluoride. Similarly, Russell Baylock, board-certified neurosurgeon, member of editorial board of American Nutraceutical Association, discusses how a recent study has shown that fluoride significantly inhibits the release of melatonin from the pineal gland, and that fluoride accumulates in the gland in very large concentrations in individuals drinking fluoridated water. We look at a policy, healthcare policy for fluoridation of public water. Fluoridation became official policy of the U.S. Public Health Association in 1951, and by 1960, water fluoridation had become widely used in the U.S., reaching around 50 million people. By 2006, 69% of the U.S. population on public water systems were receiving fluoridated water, amounting to 61% of the total U.S. population. So next we see a discussion by Dr. Featherstone, where he looks, the reason being for fluoridation of water was supposed to be to decrease occurrences of dental cavities. We see that Featherstone discusses that despite placing fluoride into water, the level of fluoride incorporated into the dental material by systemic or drinking fluoride is insufficient to play a significant role in dental cavity prevention. The effect of systemically ingested fluoride is minimal. It can be beneficial if applied as a paste or other supplemental devices to the teeth, but placement of fluoride directly into the water and then swallowed, he is arguing, has an insufficient role in prevention of dental caries. Next, if we look at industry, caffeine and light effects on synthesis of melatonin, which we previously saw had various roles in the body, including an interplay with faith and spirituality, also with sleep. We see that the authors here in a journal of brain research concluded they discussed that combining caffeine and bright light exposure suppressed melatonin and attenuated the normal nighttime drop in temperature to a large degree than either of the conditions alone. The effects were additive. Thus, caffeine alone can inhibit melatonin, and so can bright exposure during the day. But when they're combined, they work together additively to increase the drop in melatonin. We can think of various instances in day and life where we're exposed to light and also supplied at ease with caffeine supplementation. Other products containing sugars or uh, or other edible foods often come at price, but we know various instances where caffeine is readily supplied to workers or other members in the industry to promote increased productivity. Here we see a representation of entrapment of the third eye. Third eye, we can think of it as the pineal gland, and we see a representation of how it's confined to a space and not allowed to reach the outside metaphysical spiritual world, the soul. As we discussed, triangle can represent various factors such as fluoride, which blocks the pineal gland, excess artificial light, caffeinated products, which promote productivity but not necessarily spirituality. We look at meditation, study here showing that acute increase in nighttime melatonin following a period of meditation. Experienced meditators practiced one form of meditation or another well-known form of yoga showed significantly higher plasma melatonin levels in the period immediately following meditation. Similarly, the study in the Journal of Medical Science Monitoring from 2004, the effect of long meditation on plasma melatonin and blood serotonin, they found that advanced meditators have higher melatonin levels than non-meditators. And as we discussed, this melatonin can have that interplay with spirituality, also interlinked with DMT, which was shown above to have out-of-body experiences, time-space distortion, and other mystical states. Thus, we see different factors that DMT, melatonin released by the third eye, help promoting mystical states, out-of-body thinking, creative thinking, and other factors which can block that type of positive energy and existential states, such as fluoride, light, caffeine. However, these blockages do promote increased productivity and stratification. That is discussion of third eye, a review of different studies and opinions. Thank you.